Hey YouTube, this is RobberNuts1 here, and I'm here to review Flash Episode 7, Power Outrage. In this episode, we get a lot of interesting development with Harrison Wells, and the way time travel works in this CW universe. We don't actually get to see the future. We do get some kind of idea as to what Harrison Wells is doing with Barry at the moment. We also have a new metahuman in this episode, who manages to take away Barry's ability. So let's actually start off with Barry, and then we'll move on to Harrison Wells. Yeah, Barry seems to be neglecting his abilities in this episode, and he seems very, very sure of himself. Seem to be very much a part of what makes Barry who he is. And when you take when you take those powers away, Barry isn't as powerless as he thinks he is. In my opinion, in this episode, it shows who Barry is. Barry loves being the Flash, and these abilities give him a sense of purpose, which he says he never had in his previous life. And I just really, really like that, because Barry and his powers go very much hand in hand. Because Barry's powers allow him to do things that he's always wanted to do. But Barry's always wanted to help people. He's always wanted to be a superhero. And now he gets that opportunity to be that. But we get to explore that what if someone took away those abilities? And what we actually find is that Barry is actually a character Barry is a good person underneath all those abilities. And that's what I love about this show, is it's very optimistic about people. And when you compare that to Arrow, Flash is such a different show to that universe. Harrison Wells in this episode is so interesting. He appears to be studying Barry, and studying Barry's abilities and what makes Barry Barry. And especially that final scene in this episode, it really shows the sinister nature of this character. I am so ready to find out more about Harrison Wells. We know he's from the future, and in this episode we find out more about Harrison Wells's motivation motives in regards to Barry. We know that he's studying Barry and the other metahumans. My question is why is he doing that? Why is he studying Barry? What's the reasoning behind that? And that's something that very much is on the forefront of my mind when I'm watching Harrison Wells. And again, I'm ready to know more stuff about this character. He's easily one of the most interesting villains, interesting characters in this show. And it'd be kind of nice to get more about him. We also get an idea of the show about how time travel seems to work. Because Barry's abilities get taken away, the future changes as a result. And I'm quite curious as to whether that means that the future is not written in stone. That time can sort of be rewritten. I find that very, very interesting because it's the actions that Barry is taking that will lead him to the future. And Harrison Wells is trying to make that future a reality. We don't yet know the reasons why he's trying to do this. And that's the thing that I want to find out, is why he wants to make that reality real. And again, we do see a lot of sinister moments with Harrison Wells. Like Harrison Wells' willingness to sacrifice people. Because he sacrifices Tony Woodrow in this episode. And it's just very, very interesting. The electricity metahuman was good. He was an okay villain. Barry seems to bizarrely have this thing where he keeps showing his identity to his villains. I'm wondering whether that's gonna catch on in future episodes and actually start endangering Barry more. We also get the Clock King appearing in this episode. He was such a fun villain to see in this show. I'm not really sure what his purpose was for being here, but the result is we got to see Iris West kicking butt and becoming a more of a stronger character. She's not so self-reliant on Flash being there, which is again so different from Smallville, because if Clark Kent wasn't there to save Chloe or Lana or Lois, then these women would have died or not have been as stronger. Those women would have died. And I really, really like the way that this show is presenting strong female characters. And to me, that's wonderful. So, again, really like this episode. Do stay tuned for next episode. It's going to be a double bill. I'm basically reviewing Flash and Arrow for the crossover event. So stay tuned for that. I'm Robin Nuts1 here. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I shall see you all later for another comic book, for another Flash review. Bye.